Ladies and gentlemen, I have breaking news for you this Christmas Day. The breaking news is they caught him. They caught them all, and it is no longer just a saying, but former DNI John Ratcliffe, who worked for the Trump administration. Towards the end, he worked from May 26th of 2020 through January 20th of 2021. So he worked during the election season, and he was in charge of all this intel and counterintelligence against the Russian, the Chinese, the Iranians when it came to the 2020 election. They're no longer saying we caught them all. They're speaking. Let's get right into the article. We're going to read. We're going to watch this video. Ladies and gentlemen, it is crazy. Former DNI John Ratcliffe. We collected specific intel of a plan by China to mess in the 2020, choosing to help JoJo. They will do it again in 24. Former Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe joined Maria Bartiromo this morning on Sunday Morning Futures. During their conversation, John Ratcliffe discussed China's meddling with this thing. Now, I'm not going to read it. Let's watch the video.
All of our adversaries, China, Russia, and Iran, will have a preference in 2024 for the presidential outcome, and that is for Joe Biden to continue to be the president. Joe Biden has been good for business for China, Russia, and Iran. All have gotten stronger around the world. I dissented from the intelligence community's majority and said how China was trying to influence the outcome of the 2020 election, and that has been corroborated. In fact, the FBI has walked back intelligence and has said, no, China did try and interfere, continues to try and interfere in elections, and that's going to continue to be the case.
And that was the former Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, breaking news with me last month on Fox Business's Mornings with Maria on China interfering in U.S. elections. Now, a new declassified report is out from the National Intelligence Council, which confirms exactly what John Ratcliffe told me there, revealing the extent of the CCP's operation happening under President Biden's watch. The report writes this, quote, "We assess that these directives gave PRC influence actors more freedom to operate ahead of the midterms than the presidential election in 2020, probably because PRC officials believed that Beijing was under less scrutiny during the midterms and because they did not expect the current administration to retaliate as severely as they feared they would in 2020. Joining me right now with reaction is former Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get right back to it and we're going to finish the video. But did you hear what they say? The intel reports are saying that China does not fear Joe. They fear that if they meddle and they're not successful and Trump stays and they're caught, that is what they were afraid of. They're not afraid of Joe. I mean, last month in November when Joe met Xi in San Francisco, Xi told Biden right to his face, "We are going to take Taiwan. Don't get in the way." They don't fear this man. They don't fear nothing about him or his administration. He makes America look weak. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to comment about 2024 and how we get involved and we make sure that we take down the CCP, Putin, Iran, whoever else wants to make us weaker by keeping Biden in the White House. Let's get back to the video.
John, it's always a pleasure to see you. You have been so wonderful in truth-telling to the public. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Maria.
So give us your take on this National Intelligence Council report. I've got the intelligence community assessment in front of me right now. Is China getting ready to interfere in our elections in 2024?
Very clearly they are, Maria, but what the report also tells you is what you outlined there, which is that the intelligence community has to grudgingly walk back the erroneous assessment that in 2020 China was sitting on the sidelines. Look, I was very vocal that we had collected specific intelligence of a specific plan or campaign by China to interfere in 2020 for the specific purpose of helping Joe Biden become president and harming, President Biden to become president to harm President Trump in his reelection efforts. And what this report acknowledges is that that's exactly what happened. And they had to walk it back because the independent ombudsman came forward and said, look, there were analysts for China that were suppressing intelligence deliberately because they feared it would help President Trump. And so now you have Joe Biden's own director of the NSA and head of Cyber Command acknowledging that China is going to intensify those efforts in 2024, that our greatest geopolitical foe has and will continue to want Joe Biden to be the president for the next 4 years because, I mean, stating the obvious, he's been very good to China. China wanted him in the first place because Donald Trump had been so tough in terms of trade and tariff sanctions against China. China correctly believed that Joe Biden would be more pro-China.
We're going to stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from the man. I think he was hired for that specific timeline, for that specific reason, for a purpose. Donald Trump knew what he was doing. When Donald Trump was indicted in Georgia, and then he said, we have the evidence. Let's go to trial. No plea deals. I'm not taking nothing. Me and my attorneys are going to present this evidence, and we're going to destroy you. And Trump's team has already filed motions that they are going to present classified documents that is in Trump's team's possession to prove what this man just said. But what do? Well, we overwhelm them. On election day, we overwhelm them. On election month with mail-in ballots, drop boxes in your states if that's what you got. Vote in person. We overwhelm them. That is how we win. That is how we take our country back. Ladies and gentlemen, they've all been caught. This video and this proof that is now starting to come out, not just some pundits somewhere, but on mainstream legacy media, the closer we're getting, the more evidence is coming out, the more proof is being presented. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about to heat up. They're scared. They're terrified. They know justice is coming. Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification so you are notified every time I upload Trump 2024 or sooner.